a profound and challenging reading of spiritual crisis and material depletion, demanding a complete surrender and release of old identities to find liberation. Oracle Synthesis, the Sickness of Immaturity and its Cure. 1. The Core Mandate. Metu Neter Maat. The physical body and or material resources are in a state of imbalance which if persisted in is likely to produce exhaustion and open the way to illness. Additionally, one is exhibiting immaturity of emotional sensual expression. Heru Maat, the faculty of joy, creativity, and pleasure is in a state of imbalance. Your unhealthy creative expression, addiction to pleasures and or wayward intimate relationships have become a source of such distortion that it could lead to sickness and depression. Synthesis. This is a diagnosis of the self-reinforcing cycle of spiritual sickness. Childish emotional and sensual patterns are leading to exhaustion and physical vulnerability, while the pursuit of joy through distorted, addictive, or unhealthy channels Heru is deepening the depression and emotional sickness. This is a degenerative cycle that will persist and worsen without intervention. 2. The strategic process. Ching hexagram 47. Oppression K/exhaustion. This hexagram perfectly describes the result of this cycle. The oppression is the feeling of being trapped by your own immature desires and the physical/emotional exhaustion they cause. The exhaustion is the drained state resulting from this persistent inner conflict and misspent energy. Synthesis. The I Ching confirms that the current state is one of being trapped and drained by these imbalances. The hexagram is not the cause, but the manifest consequence. 3. The psychological landscape. Tarot main answer. 8 of Cups. The conscious, necessary walking away from the situations, relationships, and habits that feed the cycle of sickness and immaturity. Couch cards. Judgment reversed. 8 of Swords reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. Empress reversed. Queen of Swords. Page of Pentacles. Judgment reversed. Refusing the call to self-evaluate and confront the sickness. 8 of Swords reversed. Knight of Swords reversed. The mental prison of guilt, shame, and rationalization that keeps you locked in these degenerative patterns. Empress reversed. The creative and emotional barrenness that results from the self-destructive lifestyle. Queen of Swords. The antidote and prescription. The need for absolute, surgical clarity and truth to diagnose the sickness and cut away the unhealthy attachments. Page of Pentacles. The small, new opportunity to learn a healthy way of living and begin building a mature, stable life. Synthesis. The entire tableau shows a psyche trapped in a cyclic cycle. Judgment reversed. 8 Swords reversed but with a clear prescription. You must use ruthless honesty. Queen of Swords to walk away 8 Cups from what makes you sick, so you can begin the slow, humble process of learning health. Page of Pentacles. Unified personal message and prescription. You're in a degenerative cycle where immature emotional and sensual patterns are causing exhaustion and physical vulnerability, while your pursuit of joy through distorted channels Heru is deepening depression and emotional sickness. This is the state of oppression. Hexagram 47. The prescription is not a battle against your base nature, but a sacred ascent. You must still your mind and identify with the peace of your unconditioned source. Amen. By realizing your true nature as Asar Sphere 1. From this elevated state of consciousness, the purification of your physical and emotional Heru faculties occurs naturally. This inner triumph allows you to walk away 8 Cups from the sickly patterns with a clear, detached truth of the Queen of Swords. This is the initiation into health, offering the chance to become a Page of Pentacles, a humble student learning to build a stable, responsible, and healthy life from this new, elevated foundation. Prescription through the 7 universal laws and mantras. Mentalism. Affirm. I am Asar. My true nature is peace and wholeness. From this truth, I dissolve all sickness and imbalance within my being. Correspondence. The external oppression and sickness are a perfect reflection of internal identification with immature, lower selves. As you identify with your higher self Asar internally, the external sickness and oppression will dissolve. Vibration. The core practice is meditation to achieve stillness and identify with your divine source. The primary work is to still the mind through meditation, moving beyond the mental bodies to access the stillness of Seker, the wisdom of Tehuti, and ultimately, the union of Asar. From this place of identification with Asar, chant Ong to stabilize this connection. It is from this elevated state that you then apply the specific mantras to heal and guide your lower faculties into healthy, mature expression. His Rhine, his clearing, his Ra on Jeb to heal the physical body and transform immature sensuality into balanced vitality. On clean head Heru to heal the emotional body and transform addictive pleasure into inspired joy. Polarity, transform identification with sickness and immaturity into identification with the health and wholeness of the higher self Asar. Rhythm, you are in the rhythm of healing and recovery. Progress may feel slow, like the Page of Pentacles, but it is sure if you persist from your Asar nature. Cause and effect, the cause is identification with the higher self Asar through meditation and mantra. The effect is the dissolution of the degenerative cycle and the establishment of health and maturity. Gender, balance the receptive act of surrendering into the healing peace of Asar feminine with the projective act of wielding the sword of truth, Queen of Swords, to maintain this identification and cut away Hercules, discipline all that is sickly masculine. Your path is conscious healing through ascension. Identify with Asar to purify the sickness of Jeb and Het Heru, and walk decisively toward health.